Hello, welcome back to today's ASI update and how the market is actually trading. So the ASI closed yesterday at 243,957. Yesterday trading volume was also 1.44 billion shares. And the top gainers for yesterday were Intergen, EcoBank, TransExpress, CWG, Cornerstone. And the top losers were, Buafoods, Unilever, MTN, John Hort, Avacap. But currently, the ASI is still looking, sort of weak, basically weak, because right now it's trading at around 243,450 points. However, yesterday there were some stocks, that were showing huge, activity and huge momentum. Stocks like FTG Insure, Japan Gold, Univisure, Charms, First Co. So let's take a look at them to see what's going on with them. First, let's check, Japan Gold. Basically, a lot has been going on with Japan Gold, which is why they're part of the most traded stocks yesterday. Money are actually changing hands in these stocks, especially on on the 4th of August. This huge transaction accounted for money going into these stocks. We can say smart money getting into these stocks right now, but it's still way too early to get into this stock because still pretty much weak. Still weak. Now let's take a look at First Co. Basically, First Co is currently in the overbought region, and these signs are not looking too good for First Co right now, because what is actually going on right now seems to be smart money dumping on you know people who are kind of greedy, trying to get into this stock right now because it's a little bit too late. But you know actually it's called redistribution. So that's what is going on currently, um, in First Co. There was a massive sale on 30th of July. That could be the reason why money has not been going in, because this is kind of a huge sale right now from smart money. So you just gotta be careful. So let's see what's going on in Wema Bank. Actually, Wema Bank, oh goodness. So Wema Bank is getting weak. There was not quite massive, but there wasn't really a huge sell-off yesterday in Wema Bank. It's still holding strong, but definitely it's getting weak due to ASI. Due to ASI weakness. Yeah, that's that for Wema Bank. Now let's check Buafoods. Technically, Buafoods went down 10% yesterday. So let's see what's going on there. Well, you just have to be careful if you think this is a dip, because we're yet to like see the actual bottom, but definitely it's getting super duper weak. So you just gotta be careful. Be very careful. Let's just fold our arms and actually take time to see what's going on, because there has been massive sell off in this stock since, I guess, June. Since June. So be careful if you think it has reached bottom and you want to buy the dip. Be very careful, because the dip is still dipping. So in conclusion, I think the ASI you know is still getting weak, and currently it's at 243,408 points, right? So it's still getting weak. So we haven't actually found a new support yet. It's crazy because I thought before now, when this occurred, this breakout occurred, I was thinking we've actually found support, but clearly that's not the case right now. So we just have to be very, very careful. It's getting weak by the day. It just happened that on the 11th of August, a massive sell-off occurred in the market. On the 11th, 12th, right, which was Tuesday and Wednesday. But yesterday, there was sell-off, but not as much as Tuesday and Wednesday. So tomorrow I'll come back with another analysis for what went down today.